do not delete the MLB The Show 23 tech test. Or if you did, you better get it back, because I'm going to show you exactly why this will come in handy days before MLB The Show 23 officially releases. Now, if you have the tech test and you've loaded up, I'm sure you realize that you cannot get into Diamond Dynasty and you cannot get into co-op. But the one place you can get into is custom practice. So you may be asking me, well, Zazzy, what's custom practice going to do for me? We have done MLB 22. Well, here's exactly what it's going to provide you with. So you are going to be able to use all the new custom practice features that have been released into the game so far in MLB 23, and there's a lot of new useful features that we will be able to try out and practice before 23 comes out. One thing that you may be questioning is, well, you have to face live series teams. Well, if you know at the start of the year, live series cards heavily dominate the game, especially starters. So I'm going to pick the Phillies. They have a lot of good hitters that we typically see at the start of the year, and we're going to be facing the Rangers because the Rangers have Jacob deGrom. So one big advantage of being able to play custom practice is that you can try out every single one of the settings. So if you go through, you could choose your difficulty, obviously. You can choose your PCI and everything you're going to be using. So PCI, you can try out the anchor, you can try out the new bat PCI, something that maybe you didn't get to try enough during the week of the tech test, maybe you didn't get to play enough. Now is your chance, so please go and try it. Find out if you like it. Personally, I loved the bat PCI. If you guys want my PCI settings, we've got bat, we've got none, black, and 50%. I like it a little bit faint because it keeps the bat out of my eyes a little bit. Also, if you're somebody who didn't master Pinpoint throughout 22, maybe didn't play 22, and want to master Pinpoint, please believe me, Pinpoint is something you need, and you should be able to master during the tech test in 23, even when it's offline, so you can be ready and be as good as possible going into 23. So let's talk a little bit about how custom practice works if you've never played it before. So you can choose your batter that is on the Phillies. Personally, we're just going to start off with Schwarber against deGrom. You can choose how often they throw the pitches, which is new to MLB 23. So as opposed to being able to just choose whether to throw the pitch or not, now you can choose their frequency. So for example, I'm going to remove the curveball. I think it's not a great pitch. You don't see it often. I'm going to face these three pitches. We're going to put the fastball and slider up a little bit because we face those pitches more often. When choosing location, this is personally up to you. Personally, I like to just start out have them all throw strikes because I'm here to swing and get my PCI placement down. However, the new feature this year, for example, if I struggle with sliders inside to lefties, I can deselect all these spots. If I wanted just to be here and have it off the plate as well, so I have to recognize whether it's a strike or not, I think that's a huge addition. It's going to help you master the pitches that you really do not hit as well. So let's get started facing deGrom here with Schwarber. We're just going to take a swing, see how it goes, and we kill it to left center. Now, being able to practice this game, because what's different between 22 and 23 is actually quite large. Not just coming down to the PCI, but the way the game feels, the way the baseball comes out of the hand, how fast or slow the pitches are. It's all going to be different, and it's all going to feel a little bit different. So the week sometimes isn't as long. I think playing custom practice, the most valuable time to play it is a week before the new game comes out. Giving yourself 20 to 30 minutes, and especially, this is the biggest point that I will be able to make. The last day before MLB 23, so if you got early access, so it'd be coming out on March 24th. If you play, the last time you play any video games, make it this tech test, so you are fully ready, and this is the last thing you remember before heading into 23, so the balls, everything is going to be very crisp and in your memory, and it's going to be all very similar. So I fully suggest playing this tech test, maybe as much as you play 22 right now, just so you can be as ready as possible come day one. Now let's talk difficulty for a second, because we are playing offline, so offline pitches, if you don't know, are a little bit slower than they are online. So if you plan for most of the fan base and player base, you guys are going to be playing All-Star day one, right? You're going to be playing whether it's BR, events, even if you hop into ranked, it's going to be veteran or All-Star. So unless you're playing maybe March to October on Legend, you're probably not touching a difficulty higher than All-Star. So I suggest to go a difficulty higher than what you plan to play day one. So Hall of Fame actually feels like similar to All-Star pitch speeds. Unfortunately, you can't do much about Legend because there's no sliders that you're able to change. But if you play All-Star day one and that's what you plan to play on, make it off. If you plan on playing Veteran or Rookie day one, I would suggest playing on Veteran or All-Star. I would suggest playing a difficulty higher. Now let's talk about a whole different part of custom practice that is actually going to be very valuable this year, and we may have joked about it, but fielding practice is going to be huge with the way the throwing meters have changed. So let's take, for example, batter, semi, and pitcher's wheeler doesn't really matter. Hit type, we can make it whatever we want. I'm gonna make it a grounder here, and let's get into this here. So let's take a look at what happens. So Semien hits it. Trey Turner has to make a tough play. See, practicing that throw, I don't care if the play is made. I just need to practice having those tough throws where the meter is moving on me. That's going to be a base. I mean, that's just a great swing. But we can practice the outfield hits too. Getting your timing down. You do not want to be making errors day one. If you are playing Battle Royale, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Making errors is going to be costly in 3-inning games, especially with all the good players going to be playing. So I fully suggest you get all this timing down and make sure it is ace for coming out for day one. Now, we will cover briefly the pitching side of it. Getting pinpoint down, like I said, it's a little bit different this year. I feel like the timing is just a little bit more penalizing. So that would probably be a perfect pitch in 22. But in 23, it seems to be that the timing window is a lot smaller for perfect releases. So getting your pitching down, perfect timing every time is going to be really important. Especially seeing the pars now, we know exactly where the pitches are supposed to go. So I think getting the perfect releases and making sure that they stay in the pars is going to be as important as possible. If you guys are as excited for MLB 23 as I am, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be no money spent as always, and I'm going to be right along there with you, and we're going to be dropping more and more tips as the time gets closer to MLB 23, so if you guys need to find out exactly what to do day one, I will be there for you. We're going to be dropping tips exactly what to do, and exactly what to be grinding for day one. So like I said, make sure to hit that subscribe button with noties on, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.